everything is geared around fan growth.
The advancement of where it's come from, where it was, where it's now, it's very popular.
Fans in the UK get it. They're knowledgeable, they're passionate.
Obviously, we're very excited about being here and know how much this game has grown. I hate that we lost Kevin Cadle, who I know was very instrumental in everything happening in London, and I know you all miss him, and we'll all miss him very much.
Kevin Cadle hosted the Sky Sports NFL coverage from its debut as NFL Special right the way through to the end of the 2015 season. He was also influential in bringing the game over to the United Kingdom and was part of the presenting crew for Sky Sports at every international series game until his retirement. Cadle sadly passed away last week, just days before this game at Twickenham.
Wembley Stadium, as you can see behind me, has been the home to English football for many years. However, in recent times, since 2007, it has also been the home of NFL in the UK. It hosted the very first game on these shores between the New York Giants and the Miami Dolphins back in 2007. And since then, there's been a meteoric rise in the sport over here. It's also moved to Twickenham for 2 games this year in 2017. And from next year, we'll also be at Tottenham Hotspur's new ground.
The 2007 London game was not one for the fans, as the Giants and Dolphins played in the driving rain. The game will not be remembered as one of the best, as Richard Graves recalls.
I remember watching it, and they didn't have much good fortune on that day. It wasn't a great game. It wasn't helped by the weather conditions. The turf underfoot was cutting up in great big clumps. It was raining cats and dogs. Nothing about it was conducive to an entertaining game. But look, how far we've come in time since then. You'd hear from guys coming over from America that the fans didn't really get it. They felt they cheered in the wrong places, didn't quite understand the game. Well, that's all turned full circle now.
Back in 2007, the NFL was still a relatively new sport to UK viewers. However, the sport has grown over the last 10 years, with every game in this country being sold out, and now the fans understand what is going on, and they get behind the teams at the games.
Fans in the UK get it. They're knowledgeable, they're passionate. People often talk about this as being something akin to a Super Bowl type atmosphere. You're going to have nearly 80,000 fans inside Twickenham Stadium.
Speaking of the fans, what do they think of the NFL in the UK, and how the sport has risen over the last 10 years?
It's great to see everybody turning out and supporting their team, but also the NFL in London. It's great.
I think it's great that knowledge of the game has changed a lot. Like people cheering on third downs and things like that. It's really different to how it was first couple of games. You make some noise and don't feel like a complete lunatic. It's good fun.
The advancement of where it's come from, where it was, where it's now, it's very popular. And you see the expansion coming not only to Twickenham but Wembley as well. It's very expansive now. The game's getting a lot more popular, which is good. You know, you get new fans and expanding more, which is good for the country.
When it comes to new fans, the NFL has been growing in the UK since the 1980s, when it was first shown on terrestrial TV. With stars like Osi Umenyiora and Jay Ajayi going over to the US and winning the Super Bowl in recent years, is now the time to be bringing the sport into schools, and should children be getting involved in the game at a young age.
Now's the time to sweep up the kids, sweep up that younger generation who are aware of the game but don't necessarily know how to play it. And I think once we get to that hiatus that we got to in the late 80s, with everyone having an American football team, then I think the NFL in the UK and Europe will kick on.
The NFL has been aiming to get children active in schools in the States since 2007, with the Play 60 scheme being launched in the same week as the first game in the UK. Since then, over $200 million has been invested into the programme, and now the plan is to roll the scheme out into schools in this country as well.
We're working very hard now on getting NFL flag football into more and more schools. We have a great partnership with Subway, who are sponsoring all that effort. We would love to see that develop.
Rugby clubs could be the best place to train for American football clubs in this country, as NFL teams have shown in the past.
Most NFL teams, when they come to London, train at rugby facilities like London Irish's Hazelwood training ground. They use rugby facilities like these because they're the closest practice facilities they can get to what they have in the USA.
The learning process might not just be one way though, as it seems NFL players could learn a thing or two from rugby.
You see them tackle, they tackle proper, you know, heads up, wrap and run, you know, they have less issues than we do. We can learn a thing or two from the way they play.
Since the first game in 2007, more than 1.7 million people have been at either Wembley or Twickenham to watch the International Series games. With more games per year now than ever, the thought of a London franchise looms large. But would it work?
So everything seems to be in place. There's no doubt games can be staged here. There's a few logistical issues that need ironing out, but the arrow seems to be pointing up towards a franchise, and I certainly wouldn't rule it out.
But, you know, we've always prided ourselves, I think, on offering something a little bit different. It's a different kind of experience at the stadium. The game itself is different. I think we have a lot that we can offer to communities.
A London franchise looks likely, but some fans have differing views as to whether it would be a good thing for the NFL.
I think it would be a good one, you know, obviously the connection with the US and the UK are quite big as a general anyway, so to have that establishment with a British side in there, I mean the travel across America for a lot of teams is difficult anyway, so the travel to London, I don't see it being a massive difference. I think it would be a really good addition.
I disagree there, I think it would be terrible. I love the fact that you can come here as any team and support any game that gets shown.
Although Tottenham Hotspur's new ground may not look like much at this point in time, the Northumberland development project will soon become a 61,000-seater stadium which plays host to both Premier League football and the NFL. If a London franchise was to happen, this could just be the perfect venue, and it would explain why the NFL has put £10 million towards the build.